football season. The football. I guess we're going to try to wrap up all the fall sports because the winter sports are already off and running now. But it was a big football Thursday for all the Thanksgiving teams, and one of those teams was well represented today. We're going to have one of the captains of Pentucket in the house here in just a few minutes. Big win for Pentucket over Triton on Thanksgiving. So we'll talk more about that in just a moment. A lot going on in the world. We had on the sports front, we had last night the Celtics picking up a win. Bruins lost, but the Bruins have been hot actually, battling through some injuries, which is good. All their stars are out, and they're still finding a way to hang in there. And we can stop panicking. Patriots get a win, so the world is not over as far as that goes. It was after they lost, what was that, 2 weeks ago, right before the bye week there. You would have thought the world was crumbling on the first Patriots, but they get a win this weekend, and they're right back. First place. Everything's kind of in good order here. One game back of the top spot. So that's what we got on that front. Hopefully, the commuter rail this today. That was one of the storylines this morning. The roads were terrible. They say just add water to your commute, and you have the problem of driving to work. It's been some bad mornings here with the rain, and just imagine if it was snow though, and that is coming as well. And of course there was that big issue on the commuter line this morning, the commuter rail. I think it was Belmont right in that line, put like the Fitchburg line off for hours. Something derailed one of the trains, so not necessarily that doesn't really impact the Newburyport line or anything, but you can imagine how tough that is, backing up, trying to get to work and being on a broken down train. Not cool. What else is going on in the world today? The immigration thing is getting crazy at the border. It's just that caravan finally made its way there to Tijuana, and everybody kind of got off and stormed the border, and kids and women, children, and not just women and children, but then the tear gas was opened up. Kind of an ugly scene there. It's all quieted down now, but you were wondering what was going to happen when that migrant caravan got to the border, and I guess we saw it was pretty ugly there, especially in Tijuana, where the U.S. had to put helicopters over, and it wasn't a great situation. So, but that's that. We got Tyler Neufeld in the house today. He's producing the radio side. Tyler, can we get a hand in there? Where's the? He's trying. There it is. There's the Tyler hand. He's in the house today. Producing. David Kramer's on the TV side. Don't forget, folks, follow us at Joppa Afternoons on Twitter. That's at Joppa, Joppa, at Joppa Afternoons on Twitter. You can stay interactive with the show. Ask any questions if you feel the urge to do so. I try to keep an eye on it here right on the Twitter. I keep it on me all the time. So if you want to shoot any questions this way, feel free. And now I'll pay off who our guest is going to be here right after the break. We'll be joined by Jordan Journeay, Pentucket captain, football captain. His athletic director, Dan Thornton, nice enough to use the Twitter actually about an hour ago and say Jordan will be on, building up anticipation. So I just retweeted that on the at Joppa Afternoons Twitter account. So make sure you do that. Hello to everybody streaming at home and watching on Port TV, and of course our loyal radio listeners as well. So let's do this. I will get out of the way. We'll come right back with Jordan. We'll talk some football, talk some fall sports, and we'll see what he's doing for the winter and all that stuff as we kind of put a little bow tie on the fall sports season. My name is Drew Moholland. Keep it right here. Much more Afternoon Drive in just a moment. All right, welcome back to Afternoon Drive here on Joppa Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. Again, hope you're all having a good Tuesday. At Joppa Afternoons is the Twitter handle. All that good stuff. Jordan Journeay is joining us. How are you, bud?
Pretty good. Pretty good. How about you?
Fantastic. Pentucket captain. Very good radio voice, actually, as we hear here. Very, very nice. Pentucket captain. First time on the show. We were just talking. We knew we were going to be represented by you and maybe a Pentucket football friend or two. You were saying one of the guys got a winter practice and the other guy has a dentist appointment.
Yeah,
so you are the man today, huh?
Yeah.
Well, anyways, you guys had a big Thanksgiving. What was it? 28-0?
Yeah, 28-0ing
over Triton. That's one thing you and all the Newburyport guys have in common. A nice win over Triton.
Yeah, no one likes Triton.
Well, what a day, huh? How was that? Like senior year, good way to go out, huh?
Yeah, honestly, it was freezing. So
it was cold, wasn't it?
So at the start, I was not wanting to play, but by the end, it was just so much fun.
How bad was? I mean, this was. If people remember last week, we were talking about how 30 schools or 40 schools canceled or pushed the games up to the night before.
Honestly, I only had 2 layers on, and it was still just my toes and my fingers that were freezing.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, those were the 2 worst parts.
So did you wake up and you were like, wow, it's Thanksgiving, which is awesome, but it's miserable out.
Yeah.
But so what do you do for the 2 layers? You wear a thermal underneath?
No, I honestly just wore I always wear a sleeveless just in case I get too hot and I just want to take something off. And then I was wearing just a normal long sleeve, not even thermal, just a normal long sleeve.
Okay. And you're a
mistake.
Offensive lineman?
Offensive guard.
Offensive guard and a defensive linebacker.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're I mean, everybody on the football field is moving a lot, but it doesn't help that much, does it, when it's that cold?
Yeah, no. By the end of the first half, it wasn't too bad, but when the first 5 minutes of each half was just absolutely terrible.
Why is that? Just because you're coming off a quarter break?
Yeah, and the locker rooms were heated.
So
we went inside and we're nice and warm, and then we come back out and it's just so cold out there.
I can imagine where that would not be fun. Yeah.
No.
What's the so you get up early and then you kind of never look back. Was that kind of the game plan going in? Let's score first.
Yeah, pretty much. It was just because. Throughout the year, we've had some good wins and then some bad losses.
Yeah.
So honestly, we were just we're not gonna give anything to them. There was no we want to fight back from going down or something like that. So we just wanted to punch it in as quickly as we could and just keep on driving.
Get on top and stay on top.
Yeah.
What was the crowd like on a cold day like that? Did it affect the crowd? It must have in some way, right?
I've been going to Thanksgiving games since I was a little kid, but this year was definitely the least amount of people I've ever seen, just because of how cold it was.
Yeah.
Because we played at Haverhill Stadium and the bleachers are huge.
Yeah.
And there was maybe 4 rows filled.
Yeah, I can. My cousin always goes to. He's still at that level. Always goes to the game in Wilmington, and he was saying I've never missed one, but it's I'm gonna miss this one. It's just too cold. To go out there. So
if I wasn't playing, I probably wouldn't go. It's not worth it.
Are you happy they kept it on Thanksgiving though? Think of all those schools that ended up playing Wednesday night.
Yeah, there was a bunch of people going around saying how they didn't want to play on Thanksgiving. Honestly, it was a lot of the
players
no, it was a lot of the parents that were saying that. Yeah. And then I saw one school game. They originally pushed it forward, and kids on the football team petitioned and got it moved back.
What game was that? That was
I don't remember.
I remember. Yeah, that was the big one. That was a big story actually. And then they ended up playing it on Thanksgiving.
There's just something about playing on Thanksgiving that's just because it's the one time that's an early morning game, because most Saturday games are 12 or 1 or something like that.
Yeah.
So and then so you wake up and you're all ready. There's no in between. You wake up and you go.
Yeah, but there was something special though. I mean, I know it is funny.
There always is.
It's funny to hear that you guys were on the field during warm-ups and we're kind of it might be too cold to play.
Yeah, it was not too fun.
Your athletic director Dan Thornton, who I mentioned at the beginning, is we're a big fan of him. He's a good friend of the show. Did he make it out to the game?
I think, no, he did. He did.
He better.
I don't think he missed a game. Wow. Honestly, because he's always there with us, especially since now his son's on the team too.
Oh yeah.
So he's always there, but it's just especially like afterwards, like he had us all take a picture together, and it was just fun.
That is cool. Did you guys had a story? I'm remembering this correctly, right? A kid returned after a broken leg. Is that right?
Yeah. So
how about this? Returns for Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
What a hero!
Yeah.
My goodness.
So Jake Etter. So we had one terrible game against Amesbury.
Yeah.
Where
they're pretty good this year.
Yeah, they were, but like 5 of our kids went down.
Yeah.
I went down. I separated my shoulder. Jacob Luke.
You got Tyler's attention. He feels bad for you back there. I had a groan from the producer.
Jacob Luke sprained his ankle, and like a few others went down, and then but Etter broke his actual leg,
like an actual break.
He actually broke it.
Yeah.
And
first Amesbury, same game.
Yeah, same. It was all of us in the same game.
My goodness.
And so throughout the entire season, we're like, when you come back?
Yeah.
When you coming back? And like it just kept.
It's like, give me a break here, but
no,
not a pun, but
no, he wanted to, and like originally he was like, I'll be back. Hopefully, I'll be back for like the second round of playoffs.
Yeah.
And then they pushed it back a little bit, and then when he finally got cleared and actually started moving around and running and playing with us again, it was. There's something about it, like seeing some kid come back like that. It's just
you guys must have been ready to run through a wall after seeing that. And was he a senior too?
No, he's a junior.
So
he's got another year, but like. He was one of our better players from the start. Like even he played last year too, and he's been one of our better players. And then to see him go down just sucks.
So you guys are pushing for him to come back, but man, broken leg. It really is. That's a tough injury to come back from. This must have been part of him. That's like, you know what, I got to give it time here.
He was
way off me a little bit. The crazy though. Did he have was he full strength the other day or?
Yeah, no, he was full strength because he practiced for about I want to say a week.
Wow.
So. I mean, as full strength as you can get by that point.
Yeah.
So.
Jeez. Well, good for you. And what was his name? Etter?
Yeah, Jake Etter.
Jake Etter. Well, hopefully Jake has a nice off season and gets that thing fully healed up. But that's quite a story. I think I read about that in the Newburyport Daily News. I think did a story, and very, very cool to see that. So, and you win 28-0. Really, did anything go wrong on Thanksgiving for you guys?
Honestly, not really.
Wow, that's cool.
There was a few points where like we came out slow, and then we just picked it up again. Yeah. So like none of it really was bad.
That's cool. You guys were ready to go?
Yeah.
What'd you do the night before? Is that like kind of a weird night? You can try to get to bed early with the early game, or?
Not really. So we do this thing where we do a father-son dinner. So we usually have pasta parties before every game. But we do this thing. I don't know if anyone else does it, but we do a father-son dinner where we basically have a pasta party, but with all the other dads come too.
Wow.
And I didn't know that. And then we do gag gifts then and stuff like that. And
for other teammates or for
other teammates and stuff. And then after that, like you eat, you kind of want to sleep at that point.
Somebody host that, or you go to a restaurant?
No, we rented out VZ Park in Groveland, and then it's kind of like it's kind of like a potluck. Like some people bring dessert, some people bring pasta, stuff like that. So, and then after that, you stuff yourself, so you kind of want to go home and sleep.
Yeah, be careful of that, right? No, you're right.
Yeah. I mean, might as well eat if it's there.
There you go. And it's only, a 10 o'clock start? You got plenty of time.
Yeah, it's fine.
So you wake up at what, 7 a.m. for a Thanksgiving football game or earlier?
Depends on what you want to do beforehand. If you want to eat beforehand, then you wake up at like 6:30. Okay. But then I think I woke up at 7, got to school around 7:30. Bus left at 8:30.
Yep. All right. So, and when did you start playing varsity football?
I played during the Thanksgiving game my freshman year.
Your freshman year. So you've been in all of them.
Yeah.
So you get what was your final record? Did you get
we weren't quite 500. I think we were 5 and 6.
Yeah. What was your final record for Thanksgiving Day games?
We were 2 and 2.
2 and 2. All right. So that was a big one for you.
Yeah.
2 and 2 sounds a lot better than 1 and 3, huh?
Yeah. So my freshman year was the last time that we were really good. Yeah. It's when the varsity team went undefeated, but then lost in the first round playoffs, but then won out after that. So they only lost one game the entire season.
So the last 2 years you got lost. Does that like ruin Thanksgiving?
Kinda. You kind of just don't want to do anything after that. Like especially the past 2 years, like it like wasn't even close.
Yeah.
So like at that point, you just don't want to do anything. You just kind of want to go home, eat, and then just chill.
Yeah.
Like there's not much to do after that.
Not as sociable.
No.
Well, now captain senior year, and you get to get things back on track. So that's a nice way to go out. And hopefully leave the program in good hands here. Again, we're joined by Jordan Journeay, captain of the Pentucket football squad. Big win over Triton, 28-0 on Thanksgiving. So feeling good. He's representing Triton football here as we kind of wrap up the fall sports season. No winter sport for you, huh, Jordan?
I don't play winter sport.
I bet you've been getting recruited from a bunch of winter coaches for some...
Yeah, no. So I used to play basketball, and then I quit and started doing the shows, like the plays and stuff for the winter.
So you let us into that little fun fact there. It's not only a good radio voice, you actually sing as well.
So all the basketball coaches keep on trying to get me to come back. I've had kids always ask me to wrestle and stuff, but...
You're a busy man.
Yeah, just gotta do a lot, you know.
So what do you do with the shows? Tell us a little bit about that.
Basically, so auditions start this week, and then
we're talking like plays and stuff.
Yeah, like actual plays. So this year we're doing Sister Act. But
was that you're not a huge fan of Sister Act?
No, I just I've never actually seen the movie or anything. So you
got to get on this.
Yeah, no. When it got called out, I started watching it and stuff like that. But so I do that, and then that goes rehearsals are pretty much every day until I want to say March, the first weekends of March, and that's when the show dates are. So it's basically having a season of something, then a little bit of break before I start my spring sport.
Have you recruited any football guys to join?
No,
none of them really.
No, none of them want to.
Oh man, that's too funny. Not one, huh?
No.
You don't have some lineman friends up there that are playing? Oh, there go the headset. That
saved it.
Almost had a technical malfunction. Good hands.
Saved it.
That's good hands for a lineman.
I used to be tight end.
I used to be tight end.
I used to be tight end. They never
stopped throwing you the ball.
Yeah. So sophomore year, I get one toss, 22 yards. After that, I never get thrown to again.
What?
Yep.
Targeted once and a 22-yard catch.
Yep, pretty much.
Is that really it? Do we know the whole story here? You were dropping balls in practice.
No.
Never.
I never got targeted during practice. It never happened.
Man, I don't know.
And then, I was tight end sophomore year, and then I started tight end junior year, and then our entire line basically went down. So they just started moving me down. So I went from tight end to center, from center to guard, then guard to tackle, and I finished at tackle.
You are Mr. Versatility.
Yeah. And that's what they treat me like.
And add a few shows to the resume, and you're really Mr. Versatility. Now you had a guy who's playing at Penn State now, right? As a teammate?
Pat Fry.
What a
so I
what a season he's having.
He's doing amazing.
Did you ever see that coming?
Honestly, no, because so in our league and then the league that he played in high school.
Yeah.
Because I never actually got to play with him because he went from his after his sophomore year, he went to Brooks and then repeated his sophomore year. So I never actually got to play with him, but just watching him, you can tell when kids are good, but it's hard to, in our divisions and stuff like that, it's hard to tell who's really good.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how much they're actually putting into it, and
so he would dominate, but
yeah, he would dominate, but you can't tell how much he could actually dominate. So seeing him watching a Penn State game and just seeing him is actually kind of cool.
Do you guys all try to catch Penn State games? It's kind of a cool local thing, huh?
Yeah, no, it's actually kind of cool to watch.
Yeah, did you just call it Pat? It's Pat Fryermuth? Is that
Pat Fryermuth.
Fryermuth, yeah. And I saw actually Dan Thornton went down to catch his game at Penn State.
Yeah, he did.
That is funny. It's nice support. He seems like a pretty hands-on AD and principal, assistant principal.
Yeah. No, he's everywhere with us. He goes to any game he can get to, he goes to. If he can't get to it, he follows it from whoever the other AD is or their Twitter account, and then posts it on his own again.
Yep.
So he's usually following everything that's happening even if he's not there.
Yeah, that is cool. There was years where when I was growing up, I had a couple different ADs, but like the first time around, I had never met my athletic director. It seems like a lot of the ADs in the Cape Ann League are kind of more involved now, which is cool.
Yeah, no, it is, and especially since he's like assistant principal too, you see him throughout the school too, and then like if you have a random question about sports or the school, you can just randomly ask him. So
that's good. So he's like Mr. Versatility from an administration perspective.
Pretty much.
What was the great thing about your squad this year? It seemed like a pretty fun group over there at Pentucket.
It was a fun group, and like I think the best thing from it was it wasn't just like a few kids that like led the team to winning. It was like because we didn't have a good year last year at all.
Yeah.
And so coming in, it was like, okay, this is the team that we have. What can we do with it?
Right.
And then everyone kind of stepped up to their own level, and then it just all kind of worked. And then that's what made it fun, was just like everyone putting in what they had.
Yeah.
And it was just a fun season overall.
That is cool. How important is that? Some of these teams, like, you think about Triton. It was a pretty down year for Triton.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody knows what those seasons are like in any sport. Like that can be a real drain to show up for practice every day. It's a lot more fun when you get a good group.
No, and like you got to feel bad for them because they lose 2 of their captains and another starter or something like that.
Yeah, it's not how you draw it up.
No, and like so that's how we weren't sure when we went down against Amesbury. None of us were sure like when we were quite coming back, but then we got the okay to come back. So most of us missed that Bishop game, but then 4 out of the 5 of us that went down got the okay to come back, other than Eder.
Gotcha.
And so we were just lucky to not get actually hurt like he did. Like their quarterback got destroyed, and like you just gotta feel bad that's how you remember your final season.
Yeah, that is, and there's so many stories like that too. But
I mean, it happened to us last year.
Yeah.
With Ethan Dorr tore his ACL too last year.
Out for the year.
Yeah. Most out for all of his seasons pretty much.
What was he? What position?
He was a running back last year. Tore his ACL against Port, and then couldn't play hockey or lax.
Is it tough to get back out there, like when you see an injury like that for one of your teammates?
It can go either way. Sometimes it fires you up. It makes you want to like go and play harder and like just try and beat them.
Yeah.
But if you're already down and then someone goes down, like
morale was already low.
Yeah, like because we were already losing when he went down, and then so after he did, like we came out and fought, but like there was just like wasn't much to do after that.
Yeah. Like I always think, like, remember the Gordon Hayward injury last year?
Yeah.
Like from a basketball perspective, like if I'm watching that on the bench, like I don't want to go up for a layup 5 minutes later.
Yeah. Like it's tough to go back out and play the same game that you were playing before, but
yeah. Well, that's interesting, and football's a whole different perspective because people are going down all over the place,
and like sometimes you can't tell if someone's actually hurt or not when they're in the bottom of the pile.
Yeah. Is it true? There's some bad stuff. There's some cheap shots underneath the pile of those things.
I've never experienced it, but I've heard.
You've never committed any.
No, but like I've never experienced it, but I've heard like other kids on the team saying stuff that's happened and stuff, and like. There have been a few times when like the ball's transferred possession underneath the pile, and then they call it that way, and or vice versa, or like it transfers and then they don't call it that way. So it's just
because the refs don't get a clean look at it. It's just a battle.
Yeah, it's honestly just a toss up as to what's going to happen.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I guess that's how it goes, especially at the high school. Like you see the NFL referees, they'll jump into the pile.
High school referees are like, they just start blowing their whistle, and like sometimes they'll pull a kid off, but only if he's on the very top. Like they barely try to get in.
They all just start blowing the whistle.
Yeah,
a lot of whistles, no real action.
No.
That is funny. Well, Jordan, let's do this. We'll take if you get a few more minutes, let's take one quick break here. We'll come back. We'll talk some more in just a few minutes. We'll wrap up the fall season and talk a little bit more about what's going on at school and all that stuff. If you are cool to stick around, sound good?
Yeah.
Jordan Journeay is joining us, Pentucket football captain and a busy high school athlete over at Pentucket. So keep it here. We'll be right back. My name is Drew Moholland. Afternoon Drive on Chopper Radio.
The one, the one who does not lose. Giving all I can sets me free. being still gives a chance to find. Let it go, the place now headed for, following where the rivers go. Say a prayer for those who roam, and if you can, say one for me, and dance a prayer for the rain to fall. And I go where the rivers flow.
Welcome back to Afternoon Drive here on Joppa Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. Hope you're having a good day out there. We're joined by Jordan Journeay, Pentucket High School football captain. Big win over Triton on Thanksgiving. Very exciting. He's joining us here. He's also, I didn't know this coming in, but he's a big artsy fellow as well. He can sing, he tells me. I tried to, don't worry, I'm not going to put you on the spot. We've already cleared this up. I told him, I asked him if he wanted to sing. He was like the talented singer on the football team, and he said, no, we won't be doing that. We'll be saving that for the shows. And the show was what again? Sister Act?
Sister Act, yeah.
Excited about this now?
Like moving from one thing to the next is always fun. So
yeah,
getting a quick little switch up.
They must. If I know anything about high school guys, they must make you sing in the locker room or on the practice field at some point. Right?
Oh no!
Not at all.
No.
So you have that much pull as a senior captain that if you're not going to sing, there will be no singing.
Yeah, no. If I don't want to, I don't do anything. I'm not gonna. They're not telling me what to do.
You're a big guy, so there you go. That's a good lesson, kids. Don't do anything you don't want to do. From Jordan Journeay.
Oh my God, again.
No falling over. We don't need any injuries out of you here. You escaped the football season relatively
somehow unscathed.
Jordan almost fell off the chair back here, which is good. But you got the headset on though. Not everybody wears the headset.
I like it.
It's good. You got that good radio voice. You can hear yourself clearly in here. What do you sing though? I know you don't have to do any examples, but
no. Like I was just telling him,
no, save your stories for on the air, please.
Okay. I basically like sing a lot of different show tunes and stuff, just because that's what I do.
Yep.
And then I've sang like different things of like I've sang like Disturbed before and like a few stuff like that, just because it's like the deeper it is, the easier it is for me to push and get like a nice level. So
I can imagine you're a nice low voice there.
Yeah.
Some harmonies. You got is there like a girl you particularly like to sing with? Is there like somebody who kind of rocks it out on the?
I mean, honestly, there's a bunch of like really good singers, and like who's
stealing the show over at Pentucket though? Feel free to name drop.
Yeah, should I name drop on? Yeah. Honestly, right now I don't know, because a lot of
this could be a good social move if you come up with some names. So
if I can come up with some name, honestly, like a bunch of seniors who did the show left last year, and now there's not that many people in my grade who do it. So like, it's a bunch of people like coming up and growing up. So it should be fun.
All right, so there you go. So we won't be name dropping. You guys you're still feeling it out.
A little political answer there, just bobbing and weaving.
There you go. The speaking of people turning out, Pentucket football, those numbers were down a little bit, but everybody's down.
Yeah, no, it's so like I was actually talking about this to Gus Flaherty, who is our quarterback, and he's like, this like football numbers are just going down and down because I think we had like just over 30 kids on the team this year.
Yeah.
Which is like still seems like a lot compared to some other sports, but it's not at all. Especially when you think like for like practice, you need at least 22.
Yeah.
And then like so you take out a few injuries and stuff like that.
Which are bound to happen.
We're down to like 27, 26, and like we're struggling to fix.
Guys
anything.
playing both ways, right?
I'm pretty sure we had 1 or 2 kids not going both ways.
That's it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, pretty much our quarterback and then maybe 1 or 2 other people.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you guys are some tired boys out there by the time the game's over.
By the time the game's over, we're dead.
Really?
We're if it's away, we're on the bus and just chilling out, and then unless it was a good win against after we beat Port during the playoffs, that was a fun bus ride home.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
So
was that in some ways was that just as sweet as like Thanksgiving to?
Yeah. So finally, so the last time.
This is where everybody in Newburyport turns off their TV. By
pretty much.
Come back in like 2 minutes.
Everyone in Newburyport's like, yeah, we're done with this. No, but the last time we won a playoff game was when the kid that you were talking about earlier, Pat Fry, was a freshman at Pentucket.
Yeah.
So I think that's like, what, 5 or 6 years ago?
Yeah.
So
you got a D1 college kid, that helps.
Yeah. So, like, that was the last time we actually won a playoff game. And then to, have it be a home game, but then because our bleachers were messed up this year, it was played at Port. So then to have a home game at Port and then go in and win was something nice. And, like, it was just fun.
Yeah, so nothing better than a nice road win, right? You get to silence the crowd and all that.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is cool. And it's crazy to think that you guys are all playing 2 ways though too. I can't even imagine that. Like just it's a physical game. You know,
Yeah,
what are the quarters? They're not 15 like the pros, right?
No,
They're 12.
they're 11.
11.
Yeah.
So that's a physical 44 minutes. So.
Yeah, and like for Thanksgiving, I didn't come off the field.
Yeah.
I was on
at all. Every play.
Yeah, I was on every special team.
It's incredible.
Like kickoff return, punt, and punt return. And
you literally didn't miss a play?
I did not miss it. Until the very end when they finally took me out. But like
garbage time.
Then, yeah, up until then I was
every play. I can't even get my head around that.
Yeah.
You can't get a kickoff off.
There was a few other kids that did that too. Jim Coder, who just got Defensive Player of the Year. He played both ways and then was on every special team too. Wow. So, yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing going for the entire game.
There was a story today about the future of high school football. With is it mostly when you talk to kids that maybe would have played 10 years ago? Is it just other stuff to do, or is it that concussions thing, the fear of concussion? Like what?
I honestly don't know. I think it's just like
you guys even talk about it. Is it something?
No, I was talking like. It seems like the generations now are just getting. I don't want to put it like unpolitely, but they're just getting softer, and like a lot, and especially the kids don't have like the want or the work mentality that it used to be. So no one wants to put in the effort to go through an entire season of football anymore. Yeah. So
is it just football, or is it other sports too? Is it less of a turnout for a lot of athletics?
I couldn't, because football is the only one. Football and like cross country and track are the only ones that don't like cut. Yeah. Like fully. Whereas basketball, you have cuts obviously, and then other stuff like that. Like the sports I've played, like we always get like a decent number, but like you see other. And it's also just this area, because you see other teams, like you go to North Reading, their team spans the entire sideline. Yeah. And it's just like we're just like casually dispersed on each edge.
Although numbers across the country are definitely down.
They're going down, but it's like you can see it a lot more with like with like teams around like these small areas.
Newburyport has had their lowest turnouts, and I think Triton was down, right? Triton probably has a similar group to you guys. So these are small sidelines.
Yeah, they all are, and it's just been getting smaller and smaller. So it's weird.
Do you guys ever? I mean, it's probably impossible for you guys to even think about that stuff. Never mind, you're a young guy, but you're probably just not thinking about it in the heat of battle. But like when you read these like concussion stories, you're like a lineman. You got your head down to start every snap.
Oh,
like, are you thinking about it or protecting yourself?
Oh, I'm fully thinking about it, but probably shouldn't say this, but
Be careful then.
Yeah, no, I have been known to use my head to my advantage.
Yeah.
And like,
there is a technique to doing it, right?
Yeah.
Like a safe way.
So what I would do, especially on the line, is because I'm a guard, I'm not playing against like quick like defensive ends. I'm playing against like nose tackles or defensive tackles who are big boys, and so what I would do is I would just kind of like I'm always faster than them, so I would just immediately get my helmet into the front of their helmet, knock them back a little bit, and then get underneath them and push. Yeah. So like
which is not penalized, right?
No, it's not. And like there's nothing really penalized on the line hitting wise. Yeah. Unless you chop block someone or block someone up and down.
I've always wondered that because like when you watch an NFL game, it's like it's not they don't glorify the lineman. Like you don't see a lot of that inner battles like that, and you wonder because it's really impossible to get your head out of the way. In that case,
you can't.
You're gonna make contact with the helmet inside like that.
Yeah, and we all have a running joke like where like there's whenever you play football, there's a little bit of a headache that casually spans the entire season, and then like the week afterwards it's gone. So like,
there's something there.
There's something there, but like if you love the sport, like it's not that big of a deal. And like there's something about the sport that will make you put your body on the line. Like,
do you think you've ever had a concussion?
I have before, and there's sometimes like
doctor diagnosed concussion.
I've had a doctor diagnosed one, and then I've also had a few where I was like, I'm just gonna take it easy for a day, and then I'm gonna keep on playing. So like there's been a few where like I've known that I probably shouldn't be, but like I still wanted to, and I still did.
How much of that is there? Because I know coaches are trained like crazy these days to make sure you don't do that. Like if somebody's there's still that pressure of it's just I got my bell rung, which everybody says now. There's no such thing as that. If you're feeling that, you should not be playing. But
but all of us still do. There isn't really like it isn't really like told. But like no one wants to go down with a concussion because then you don't know how many time, like how long you're gonna actually be out, depending on how bad it is. And
you probably don't. Do a lot of times you might not even know you actually have one until
until like you honestly don't realize it till like the day after or something like that. Because like
and then you start feeling stuff.
Yeah, and then you start getting like a little bit nauseous, a little bit.
That's
dizzy.
not a good feeling.
No, it's not. No. Or like the one that I had, I noticed it because I was in school. And I was just trying to read, and I just kept on like my eyes just started drifting. I just fell asleep on the desk.
Really?
Yes.
That is scary.
But like it wasn't even like a bad like that wasn't even the worst one I had. And like all I did was just go home, sleep it off, and went back the next day, and I was fine.
Wow.
So it's just like there's like a certain mentality. Like football automatically takes a certain mentality, and then like to deal with all of that too, and like you gotta like. Same thing, like you say I'm on the line, but like we also had these two like tiny running backs, Dylan O'Rourke and Andrew Malone, who would just take hit after hit after hit, and they would just get back up and go.
So you guys are probably thinking they probably hurt.
So like you think about the line as taking a lot of the hits, but the running backs are just getting destroyed every single play. Yeah. So it's definitely something.
It is scary. It's a different breed. The thought of playing at the end of a game with a concussion and then saying the next day, I think I have a concussion is a whole different experience for most people,
Yeah, but it's kind of the norm at this point, especially since they're pushing the concussion talk so much. Yeah. That it's kind of turned into a norm to think that you probably have one. It just depends on if you want to tell someone or not.
Interesting.
Which I mean, obviously it's better if you probably do, but no one wants to go down. Like that's probably the one of the worst things that you can think about during football. It's like you can lose as much as you want, but you want to be playing.
So you have hit on the line that football programs are battling across the country. The player that says this is crazy, I'm fine, I want to go in.
Yeah.
And the medical staff that is saying no.
Yeah, I've done that quite a few times.
So you find yourself arguing to stay in a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I've been questioned, and I was just saying every right answer just to get back into the game
Because
before.
yeah.
Because
Wow.
there's certain times in a game where like you know that you got rocked, and you know that you should take a break for at least like a few plays.
Yeah.
But there have been times when I'm fine, everything's okay, not dizzy, nothing, and then go back in, and then like the trainer knows if you're like
faking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But since they can't actually tell if you're lying or not, there's not much, unless like you're giving clear signs.
Yeah.
Like you can't like stay straight or something.
You've probably
like
seen
that.
them grab people and just say you're done or that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That's it. And probably when that stuff happens, the teammates are like, he should be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you actually get like pulled back and like the trainer actually like legit says you're not going back in, that's when
That's the final answer.
Yeah, that's like when she's like, do you feel okay? That you can kind of work the line a little bit there.
Yeah.
But when she's like, you're done, there's nothing you can do after that.
So a lot of responsibility on those trainers then, right? Jeez, who is the trainer?
Miss Castiglione.
They have a tough job, don't they? Especially with you guys. I always see those trainers on the football sidelines, and they're running out there for the bad injuries. They're always dealing with stuff on the sidelines.
Yeah. And then the thing about especially small high school trainers is that we have one trainer.
Yeah.
And so that's for every single sport
Yeah.
that's going on at that time. So she's working football, soccer, cross country, anything that's going on right then, she's working it and has to do it quickly so that she can, if there's a game playing, she can get there, or if there's not a game, she wants to get out and go across the fields and make sure nothing happens.
Trying to deal with you jerks who are trying to talk your way back into football games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is a tough job. So it's interesting. It's good school to hear you give her a shout out. What's the final thought here? Football season done. Is it weird?
It definitely is.
It's not going to be a radio show every week to fill the void.
It definitely is, especially since it's my senior year. So I don't know if I'm gonna play again or not.
Yeah.
So
college plans yet, or
a little bit, but like nothing
final.
Yeah, nothing final at all. And like, of course, I want to play in college, but like, I'm still on the line of like teetering. Like, do I play or do I focus on studies and stuff like that? And so it's just a weird question to try and ask yourself, because of course I want to play.
Yeah.
Because I've been playing.
You love the game.
Yeah, I've been playing since second grade, and there's nothing else I would rather be doing than playing football or something. So
very interesting. All right. Well, Journeay, that was the first time we've met you on the show here. It's you're a great guest. So we should have done this before. You're already senior year. My goodness. Maybe we'll have you back on the back end maybe here. And you play. What do you do? You do no winter sports? Do you
I play lacrosse in the spring.
Lacrosse. Or
yeah.
Maybe we'll get you in here with Dan or something in the spring, and we'll see how life's going for you. But it's good to meet you, man. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We come back. We'll bring in Tyler. We're gonna finish up. We'll bring the show home here in just a couple moments. Don't forget to go out and give your play one last shout out too here for the.
It's gonna be Sister Act, and it's gonna be around March, the first weekend of March, and
public can go check it out, right?
Yeah, it's at Pentucket High School, the first weekend of March, like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So
there you go. That is where you get to sing, see Jordan Journeay sing. So that is your chance to do it. He's doing no previews here on the radio show today, but that'll be your chance live and in person there, Jordan Journeay. So good to meet you, man. Again, we'll be right back here to bring the show home. My name is Drew Moholland. It is Afternoon Drive on Joppa Radio.
One day I will find her within you or without you, the one who is not afraid of love. From the nightmare I will wake her, the shadows will forsake her, lashing them with lightning, I will drive them from the door. The salt of her fears will break upon my bow, the clay of her self-hatred, cloven by my plow. One day I will find her within you or without you, the one who is not afraid of love. Let it be you. Let it be you. One day I will know her when every grain I've planted has grown to wishes granted for the one that I adore. And on that day I'll show her every pain transmuted, every pleasure unrefuted, and her lips will cry for more, like an oyster scratched from rocky sand. I'll crack her in my bleeding hand, and the light of her white pearl will flicker on my brow. Clay cloven by my plow, wave breaking on my bow. Let it be you. Let it be you.
All right, welcome back to Afternoon Drive here on Joppa Radio. My name is Drew Moholland. Again, hope you're all having a good Tuesday afternoon out there. We put the old curtains down here. Is it still nice out? It looked like the sun was coming out. Check on it, Tyler, will you? Let's take a little. We won't tell you the temperature because I don't have a thermometer in here. But yeah, it's a nice little evening out there in Newburyport. There you go. Now we shut the shades again. We go back into our little cave. Bringing Tyler in now here for the producers segment to end the show. We haven't done this in a little while because we've had very, very busy shows in recent weeks with a lot of guests that are kind of taking up a lot of our time. But Tyler is now in the house. And how are you, Tyler? Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
Good. Jordan, good kid there, huh? Very interesting.
Yeah.
Great radio voice.
Great radio voice, very well-rounded.
Yeah,
Sounds
exactly.
Like he sings, plays lacrosse, plays football.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Plays.
It's more than I did.
More than I did.
Yeah.
Well.
It's a lot of quite two different worlds there. Playing offensive lineman for the football team, and then let's go lead the way on the Broadway play front there.
Good for him, though.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's well-rounded.
It is those concussions. It is crazy. I know that's the truth about those football guys. Who are trying to talk themselves back into games and stuff, but it is crazy, isn't it? It's just I don't know what to do about it. I mean, it's happening at every level. You got kids like that maybe either don't realize they have a concussion or are just they're leaders and they don't want to leave their guys out there. But it's a violent sport, and you do end up having guys playing when maybe they shouldn't.
Yeah, it's not worth it. I mean,
yeah.
I'm a brittle man, as you can see.
Brittle man.
So I wouldn't survive football at all. But
it's a different game, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you can. I guess your football years are limited, but
yeah,
you also don't want to ruin your quality of life if you get a bunch of concussions.
Don't mess around with the head, kids.
No, head injuries are a serious thing.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's different though. It's different from even when I was in high school. I remember any injuries where it was involving the head. It was like, you probably get your bell rung, but doctors say there's no such thing as getting your bell rung anymore. It is. That's a serious issue. You should be not doing whatever you're doing if that's the case. So
that's bad.
But yeah, interesting. But Jordan's a good kid. That was good to meet him, and he had a lead Pentucket into a great season this year.
Yeah.
Obviously a Wolves, but you can tell that most we're joking around about singing at practice, but that's definitely a guy not doing anything he doesn't want to do there. So yeah, he's a big dude.
No, yeah.
And obviously a vocal leader as well. Did you see, Tyler?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yes, I did.
Did you see the old front page? It's not exactly a article that
happy. So
Yeah, it's kind of a tough article because it's about an FCC rule here, and that could affect local
Do you want
cable
me to show it
access
on the-
programs. Yeah, I'll show it here in a second. But FCC rule could affect local cable access programs. You can pull it up and read it on the Daily News if you want. But there we go. Front page of the Newburyport Daily News is the mayor, Mayor Holiday. She was on what was that, last Tuesday there?
Yeah, it was a week ago now.
Yeah.
And this came out
There we go.
last Wednesday.
Yep. So you get a nice little article in there.
Thanksgiving.
It turns out I like the orange shirt, which I am also wearing on. This is apparently my Tuesday shirt. But
Wardrobe of them.
a pretty good photo though. It's good. They got the right side of me, the back of the head. It's a good photo.
Should
But,
I mention that they,
Wait, what did they do? Did somebody say something?
No, they staged it.
Oh, they staged it. Yes, yeah. That was an off-the-air conversation. I was like, wait, I don't think I know what you're insinuating here.
No.
Yeah.
Nothing bad.
No, yes, that was an off-the-air laughter moment there. It's a good photo though. Shows off the
Yeah.
studio nicely.
You guys were talking. It was just off
Yeah.
there.
See?
So not a full stage.
Yeah, nice studio. It's a great studio we're in. I love this place. How are things with you?
I bit my tongue yesterday.
Oh, I'm just talking. Actually, I forgot to. I gotta remember to control the camera. You bit your tongue
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yep.
That's
I
the
know.
highlight of the week so far.
It's made it. I feel like I have a slight lisp now.
Okay.
I don't know.
So you think it's affecting your radio for performance?
It's just affecting my everyday quality of life.
Quality of life. We just had a football guy in here talking about broken legs.
I'm
and,
a brittle man.
Thanksgiving returns and heroic returns to the field after broken legs, and you bit your tongue.
Yep.
Okay. To each his own, Tyler. If if you're battling some serious injuries over there, you should let us know. Did you go to New York last weekend? You play with
No,
the band?
I didn't go.
Weren't you supposed to? Oh no, it was Thanksgiving. So you were here.
Yeah,
That's
I was,
right.
I was here.
That's right.
We got a new amp,
Nice.
so that's good.
Cool.
Like that.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
How was Thanksgiving?
It was good. We did the football game.
Yep. Oh yeah. How'd it go? How'd the production go?
It went great. Thank you, Amesbury TV. CT. I'm really sorry I got their name wrong, but it's Amesbury TV.
Oh, nice. They helped you out?
Oh my God, I owe them everything.
Like bailed you out?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I don't know the story. This is not in the off the air chatter.
Oh no, this is fine.
Yeah. No, I
So-
know what happened.
We got over there and it was cold as hell. Okay, I can say that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
And it was me and David.
Yep.
And we were gonna have Sarah Brocher come over and she was gonna do another
Yep.
camera, and Wynn and Richie were gonna come and
Broadcast
commentary.
Yeah.
and it was so cold, and we're like, oh, we're done. This is awful.
Yeah.
And they were there and they said, hey, if you planned this earlier, we could have given you our feed and we could have saved you some trouble. And we asked, can we just still take the feed? And they were like, yeah, that's fine.
Wow.
So we took their feed and we just patched over Wynn and Richie over their feed, and they were very nice about it. And we just, David and Sarah, took a quarter each. filmed it.
Wow. Well, that's great.
They were great. Loved
That's
them.
probably helpful on a cold day like that. How cold was it?
It was so cold. So I took my gloves off for a second to set up the via,
Yeah.
and they're off for like probably 60 seconds. My hand, it was like purple, and it went from being completely numb to just like fiery hot.
Yeah.
So not good.
Not good at all.
Not good. How was your Thanksgiving?
Good. Slightly warmer than yours, I guess. Yeah, we were good. We started off in Wilmington on my family's side. My aunt and uncle were nice enough to host. Thank you, Gene and Jim. We did that, yeah. And you know what the tough thing is, though? Because then I go back to my wife's family is from Danvers, which is where I live, too, on the other side of town. But so we end the day back in Danvers, which is easy.
So you had like a second Thanksgiving? Like
Yeah, but it's
dessert?
like that's the problem. It was like 2 meals, 2 full meals, and then you do the best you can with the first one, like to not overeat, because like you gotta pace yourself.
Yeah.
But it's just really hard to do, especially when everybody cooks something, and it's like you want to try everything that somebody made, and yeah. So I don't usually do this. My brother-in-law will literally eat till he like gets sick, like pretty regularly.
Does he-
I don't usually do that.
Does he vomit?
I don't know about that. I don't think we need to get into that, Tyler. But no.
Just curious.
I can understand why you'd be curious, but no, I don't know. He just, he'll just end up being like, oh boy, I ate too much. But I don't usually do that. I tend to be okay on that front. But I was too full. Yeah, I was watching football and I couldn't move on the couch for like an hour.
That'll happen.
That's Thanksgiving, I guess. That's probably a common story.
It is, but it's not pleasant.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's avoidable. So.
Yeah. It's funny too because it's not like I like turkey. I don't want to like offend anybody out there. I like turkey. I don't like love turkey. You know.
It's kind of bland.
Yeah, like it's not my. I would never like order anything turkey when I go out.
No.
So it's kind of like my time to have it, but I don't. It's not that. You know what? It's not like the appetizers and the desserts and like you're talking with people. You're seeing people you hadn't seen in a while. Appetizers, chips, dips. That's what gets you. I think. That's nice.
Well, yeah, because you get you get turkey,
Yeah.
get the cranberry sauce, you get the stuffing, you get the mashed potatoes, the gravy. That's a full meal, and then you'll work on the appetizers, the chips and dip,
Yep.
or like whatever.
Before the apple crisp and the pies.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and then before you get to dessert, though, you're eating the follow-up hors d'oeuvres. Like, oh, there's some mushrooms over here. I'll eat those. Or there's some olives.
Yeah, and then you usually get up for a little bit before dessert or whatever, or at least we do, and then you have some more appetizers before because they're just still around.
Yeah, and then chalking like a glass or two of wine as well. That's liquid in there.
Yeah. No wine for me.
No.
My wife does the wine. Actually, my wife made some weird.
She made wine?
No, she made like some. What's that thing like? I think it's like champagne and like juice and funky drink. It's all on ice. She turned it red. Champagne.
Sangria?
Yeah, I guess it's like a sangria. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Sangria doesn't have champagne.
And it's not
a
champagne.
mimosa,
Well, what's the?
right?
No, but it is essentially a mimosa, I think, because it's champagne mixed with juice. Mimosa would be orange, right?
That's mimosa. Orange juice.
Orange
and
juice.
champagne.
Yeah. Okay. So she does like a version of that.
Okay.
I think she ends up turning it red. I think, if I remember. I don't drink it, but
Cranberry, maybe?
cranberry. Yeah, I think it was maybe cranberry and orange.
Oh, that's
I think.
That sounds good.
I'll get the answer for that next show.
Let me know.
We're at Rumor Mill here. I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to have to be off next Tuesday. For those of you planning your schedules.
It's not even a rumor.
Well, it's not a rumor around here. I'm not sure we've gone public with this yet. There's or maybe I'm just not ready to sign off on it yet. No, just kidding. But Tyler here, who has clearly shown how capable he is on the radio, may just be jumping in to host next Tuesday.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, I say may. I just haven't officially talked about it with Sarah, but I think that's the deal. That's kind of where we're going, right?
Find a guest.
That's where we're going. Okay. Maybe we should talk more about this after the show.
We probably should.
It takes a lot of preparation. You can't just ask these people. You gotta give them time.
Well, you do have to ask them, but yes, you do have to.
Well, yeah, but you can't just like on a whim.
No, you can't.
And it's not that hard. Don't worry.
No, I'll figure it out.
There you go. Well, we'll talk more about that on. Are you here Thursday?
Yeah.
I already have the book.
Actually, I don't know. Yes, probably.
We had a couple different ideas for Thursday, actually, and we'll see which one comes through. So I won't tease who it is, but we'll just leave that as is. But tune in next Thursday.
Mics?
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll
talk. We'll talk more about that preparation. Thank you, Tyler. That was a fun little show here today. And a shout out to Dan Thornton too, helped us out getting this captain over here, Jordan Journeay. Nice of Jordan to come on over today and kind of represent Pentucket football after a nice win. We'll be back here Thursday, same time, same place. Thank you, Tyler Neufeld. Thank you, David Kramer. Another fun little Tuesday show. We'll be back Thursday. Same time, same place. Joppa Afternoons on Twitter, at Joppa Afternoons on Twitter. My name is Drew Moholland, and this has been Afternoon Drive. Bye-bye now.
Does it get any better than no meetings or to attend? Summer